Tax-free countries. Number 10. Panama. The official currency of Panama, the balboa, is currently equivalent to the value of the US dollar, making the seafaring cost easy for Americans keen on retiring here. There are also an estimated 20,000 to 30,000 American expats currently living in Panama. Since the Panama retirement visa started in 1987, it is one of the best for attracting foreign nationals. Qualifying applicants for this permanent residency visa receive import tax exemptions on household goods up to $10,000 and on a new car every other year, plus substantial discounts on everything from utility bills 25% to dental exams 15% and transportation services up to 30%. The full discount list, which includes savings on hotel stays, theater performances, and even airline tickets, is available here. Anyone 18 years of age or older can apply for the Panama retirement visa as long as you have a proven lifetime pension or income of $1,000 per month, with an additional $250 per month for each dependent, such as children or relatives. If your monthly pension falls between $750 and $999, you can still qualify by purchasing local property worth at least $100,000. All applications must be submitted in Panama and through a Panamanian lawyer. Number 9. Kuwait. Like many of the Gulf countries on this list, Kuwait doesn't need to levy an income tax thanks to its large oil industry. It's also one of the most expat-friendly countries in the world. Foreign citizens make up 2/3 of the population, and from my experience, Kuwait City is highly Americanized and easy to navigate. However, obtaining permanent residency there generally requires you to have Kuwaiti relatives or formal employment within the country. It also doesn't have much need for foreign investment, so citizenship by investment is also out of the question. Living permanently in Kuwait's tax-free haven, then, is near impossible, so I wouldn't base your tax strategy here. Number 8. Maldives. Imagine living in an overwater bungalow without paying a dime in income tax. You can technically do that in the Maldives, a small island country in the Indian Ocean. Thanks to its plentiful and expensive resorts, the Maldives doesn't see much need for an income tax. However, while spending your days living tax-free in the Maldives sounds idyllic at first, staying there for a long time is close to impossible. You need to be a Sunni Muslim to even apply for citizenship or permanent residence. Even if you're a Muslim, the country doesn't have a program for foreigners to become permanent residents, let alone citizens. So while you won't have to worry about triggering tax requirements as you launch at the St. Regis, moving to the Maldives is out of the question for most people. Number 7. The Bahamas. Enjoying the benefit of not having to pay income taxes in the Bahamas depends on residency, not on actually obtaining citizenship, making it one of the easier countries in which to access an income tax-free life. However, there is a minimum residency requirement for permanent residents of at least 90 days in order to qualify for the tax break. Expats may not stay in another country for more than 183 days. Recently, however, the Bahamas has started cracking down on foreign residents who use the temporary permit without making investments. If you want to stay there long term, you'll need to buy at least $250,000 in property to get on track for permanent residence. Caribbean islands go, the Bahamas is one of the relatively less expensive ones in which to live. Getting a temporary residence permit is as simple as paying $1,000 at the immigration office, and it's renewable every year. As a general rule, the more money you invest in the Bahamas, the more likely you'll be treated favorably by the immigration office. While getting permanent residence is mostly a matter of investment, citizenship is another story. The country has flirted with an expensive citizenship by investment program, but nothing has come of it yet. You won't pay much in taxes to the Bahamas, but you'll need to spend a substantial amount of money to live there. In the long run, though, it could be worth it to pay no taxes while lounging by the beach. Overall, the country has a good infrastructure and services. The one area where services are considered a bit below par is the area of medicine. Many US experts who have chosen to make the Bahamas home still travel back to the US for significant medical care. Also, as is to be expected, within a heavily touristic area, has a somewhat high climate range. Overall, the distance to the US and the beautiful atmosphere makes the Bahamas a great place for many tax experts. Number 6. Monaco. Well known as a perennial vacation playground for ultra-high net worth individuals, Monaco has long been considered one of the most beautiful and desirable places to live in Europe. Located on the French Riviera, Monaco has extensive, well-developed marinas that are usually occupied by a section of yachts from around the world. Monaco's status as one of the world's best tax-free countries has made it into a playground for the European elite. Monaco is a city-state that is not much larger than the Miami. Plus, since the country tends to attract high-income, tax-averse types, it will likely remain among countries with no income tax for the foreseeable future. It's also one of the easier tax-free countries to become a citizen in. Although you need to spend several $1 million to prove your wealth in order to become a resident, the residency process itself is fairly straightforward since it's a popular destination for wealthy expats. It has one of the lowest crime rates of any country in the world. However, One drawback in Monaco is also one of the most expensive places in the world to live. Accessing Monaco's income tax-free financial environment is quick but not cheap. A legal residence permit can be obtained in less than 3 months, but requires depositing approximately $500,000 in a Monaco bank. Number 5. Andorra. Located in the Pyrenees Mountains between France and Spain, Andorra imposes a scalable tax rate capped at 10% for individuals making over €40,000 each year. Andorra's mountain location makes it a scenic spot for skiers and mountain climbers. Other than skiing tourists, life in Andorra is relatively quiet and easygoing. Andorra is renowned for not only for their low tax rates, but also for being with the value-added tax (VAT), bringing many Europeans driving in for the day to purchase cigarettes, liquor, apparel, and electronics. Keeping with this tax-friendly attitude, Andorra is noted for having one of the most well-developed offshore banking industries in the world. The path to Andorra citizenship is one of the lengthiest, with naturalization taking more than 10 years. Number 4. Bermuda. Bermuda is an even more attractive Caribbean income tax destination than the Bahamas. However, it is also a much more expensive country in which to live. Its relatively isolated location makes Bermuda one of the most expensive cost of living spots in the Western world. A gallon of milk costs between $10 and $15, and even a modestly nice apartment can run as high as $2,000 a month or more. Bermuda is much more developed than most Caribbean islands, with excellent roads and public transportation. And beyond that, from its famous pink sand beaches to its upscale restaurants, Bermuda is considered one of the most scenic and pleasant countries in the Caribbean. The majority of US expatriates live in Bermuda are employed in the extensive financial sector that exists in the country. Number 3. Bahrain. Bahrain was one of the first states in the Persian Gulf to discover oil on its lands. This oil discovered has allowed it to become one of the wealthiest nations in the world and one of the handful countries with no income tax. It's also fairly easy to live there. However, the problem with Bahrain and many other Gulf states is that getting permanent residence can be difficult. To establish permanent residence in Bahrain, you need to be retired, invest $135,000 in property, or invest $270,000 in Bahrainian company. While getting permanent residence in Bahrain is possible, citizenship is another story. You need to live in the country for at least 25 consecutive years and be fluent in Arabic. Bahrain then could be an option if you're looking for a tax-free permanent residence in the Gulf and don't count on getting a second passport there. Number 2. Brunei. Brunei has enough oil wealth to forego income tax. Brunei is an interesting tax-free country, but most people will not want to live there. However, unlike Bahrain or the Bahamas, Brunei is extremely difficult to live in. It's not very friendly to foreigners, and the government is frankly heavy-handed and dictatorial. Permanent residence and citizenship are also out of the question, unless you somehow gain the approval of the Sultan. Brunei mostly just exemplifies how countries with no income tax are not necessarily hubs of economic freedom. Number 1. Cayman Islands. Like the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands scenic beaches drew in enough tourists to keep its government afloat without the need for income tax. However, if you want to live there long term, be prepared to invest a considerable amount of money. You need to be making $145,000 and invest at least $600,000 in real estate or local companies if you want to live on the Grand Cayman. And from there, you need to wait another 8 years for permanent residence. And in most Caribbean countries, the more money you invest, the more easily you can obtain permanent residence. However, you can get away with investing a bit less if you choose to move to one of the less popular islands like Cayman Brac. The Cayman Islands can therefore be an interesting zero tax option if you have the money to invest in becoming a permanent resident.